Okay, BNB, BTC pair. So we have 3 months supply. We've had a range, and we broke out the top of the range. We came straight back through the range, and now we're coming at the bottom of the range. So arguably we've reclaimed the range, but we need to see it like not go back 67-ish now. But we're still struggling to get through this monthly supply. So it has had a hit on the monthly supply, on the monthly and the 2 monthly basis. This is now a 3 monthly supply, so I've just stuck another alert in there, but again, it's not a shortable alert, but just because I want to see the reaction if it comes back up to test. But it's already tested on the monthly and 2 monthly, so I wouldn't necessarily be overly confident, and you can't short this anyway. But I would want to see more if it comes back through, because if it comes back through, then we're looking at it going back up towards the top of the range. Whereas if it rejects again, possibly a little bit higher in this 2 week, for example, then we're looking at potentially a bigger move down. So that will reflect quite strongly on what the US dollar pair does. So I kind of want to see that. I also don't really like it when it gets tested in some wicks here, but again, would have preferred it to have come back down properly into demand, to be thinking that this is going to make its way through. Oops, not US dollar pair. Obviously is messy because it's me. So we have a new 6 month demand on this. So we'd have a very solid long if and probably when we get back down here. It's not a strong 6 month demand due to the, again, not having closed above this red candle wick, but it's a decent move away from the level, so I quite like that if we come back there. 3 months doesn't give us much more. 2 month, same, you know, we're in the 2 month supply here, but it hit multiple times, and in this monthly, you know, we had the significant move off the monthly there, we're still approaching that. So again, you know, still just in this large consolidation for BNB on the high time frame, and a decent December candle to go off, but would like to see that 6 monthly level retested. I'm not sure where my alert is. It doesn't appear to be. Okay, so I've got a more aggressive alert on a 2 day demand in here, and then I actually do have an alert for the 6 month below that. So bring that cross back up there. But that would be a more aggressive entry on the 2 day on this. But having said that, like I say, I don't really like the BTC pair, but if the BTC pair gets through that 3 month supply that I just mentioned, then great. And then we might find, you know, get the move up into here. So this is just top of the range on the US dollar pair, bottom of the range, top of the range, local range, last down move. Again, short bias, but not a strong supply to be short bias off. Would prefer probably for it to take out that high. And if it takes out that high on a wick, I'd be more confident of a short if it comes back up into this monthly. So again, it's a monthly supply, but it's a retest. Just make that clearer. It's already wicked once into there, and didn't break the low, came back up in a local downtrend, but again, just the bigger range here. So 2 week, you know, some of these, so yeah, some what I've looked at now, you know, I think a Sol and maybe Link, I can't remember which of the two, possibility of creating a 2 week demand if we can stay up here for another 10 days. So the 2 week candle in the next 10 days will be an interesting chart to do, and if we're going to get that high time frame continuation without a bigger drop off these levels, then that's probably what will propel it. So very much needs to see how the next 2 weeks play out on this. As you can see, I've obviously been quite short biased in here, and it's BNB, you know, we have broken the trend, but everybody knows I don't love mean trend lines, but other people trade these, so maybe we'd like to look at them. On the linear chart, I retested the trend line would coincide with that 2 day there, so that could be interesting, or we've already had it on the log scale. But again, yeah, so short bias because we're in weekly supply and we're at the top of a significant down move, but this significant down move didn't break the low. but nothing as yet to give us decent short entries. But again, not dissimilar to Link. You know, we've got here we had a 3-day supply. It was a weak one. We got a rejection off it. I think it didn't make a new low. No, so it didn't quite make a new low. It already had the low off there before. But even despite that, I decided to, like, this was looking one of the weaker ones of all the new majors. And I mentioned, like, we had this daily in here, and that couldn't push it higher. So this did come down deeper. So hence I thought, given Bitcoin was starting to drop at this point, that this 12-hour was a decent enough worth a try to get a bigger move down. Didn't work, or like it wicked very close to it, and actually the alert went, I think, on this green candle. So that one failed. And it's come back up higher into the 3-day zone. But we're still holding this 3-day, but starting to look more uptrend like. You know, there's a daily demand in here. So we could get a push off that. Again, assuming Bitcoin doesn't dump. I might actually put an alert on that because I don't mind that one. So let's alert that one. And as I said in previous videos, it's just like trading these ranges. So there's a 12-hour and then there's the daily just underneath it. If we get a test packet down into there, it's worth watching to see whether this can get a move, because the 3 days now had 1-2 hits. The 4-hour that I've alerted on Link has already gone up into there, so we haven't had this demand break. So at the moment, on the 8-hour chart, we are still looking at a retracement and consolidation into the 8-hour demand. We've had 4 hits on it, which is not ideal, and hence why I did that short there, but it has still managed to push higher regardless. So again, worth watching if we can get a drop back into this 12-hour daily or in the 8-hour. I mean, it's again slightly higher off that, for the possibility of taking out this high. And then it's just a question of seeing how we close. So, oops, if we take out that high, we've got monthly supply up there for the second test. But yeah, I'd look for rejection above this high, but potentially below that high still. Even though that's not a strong high, it did have a strong move off it. So that would be a consideration. And all in the context of the Bitcoin chart as well. So as and when that happens, I would like to see where this is in relation. You know, is this going to make it through this 3-month? Is it just going to reject immediately off the weekly above and swing fail? But I'm not bullish on this right now. The only thing that makes me potentially more bullish on this chart, what was the time frame I was looking at? The monthly, is that we have had the 3 waves down. So from an Elliott perspective, we've had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we could get an A, B, C. So see what happens when that alert goes. And then for scalpers, you've got the possibility of the long on that daily. Excuse me. Possibility of a local long on that daily for scalpers. Bigger drop, 2-day or 6-month below. And 6-month obviously is the stink bid zone. 230, 240-ish, 250 or close to, yeah. The I guess the early 200s below 250 zone would be where I would look for nice longer term longs should we get a bigger dump. And that's about it on BNB. BNB is quite random, I have to say. Like, looking at it now, even with sort of everything else showing red candles as Bitcoin's dropping in the last 8 hours today and the last few days. BNB is obviously deciding to go up instead, and BNB can do that. So yeah, be aware and be wary that BNB tends to not move with the rest of the market if it wants to. I mean, even when we were coming back down here, I think I didn't get the long in there because I wasn't loving these levels. but then I feel like this move was just quite random when the rest of the market wasn't really doing very much. Okay, so that's it on BNB. Nothing overly exciting.